Hey Blue and rest of internet people, it's time for me to do the YouTube survey 2012 and the YouTube survey 2011 because I didn't do that one either. It's going to be super survey time! Yeah! Now no one tagged me in this, but I don't want to feel like an absolute loner, so I'm just going to pretend that I was tagged by Sarah of I'm gonna have a bitch fit. That's the name of her channel, don't get mad at me parents. I will include a link to her channel so I can pretend like she tagged me properly. Now, time to ask and also answer questions. Dun 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 da 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 da. Why are you called that? What, you mean my name? I'm called Joel because my parents thought it had a good meaning, which right now I can't remember, and they thought it was very important for names to have good meanings. My last name is just my last name. I'm called it because I am the son of my parents. And for why is my YouTube channel called that, that's a slightly more difficult question. It was to do with a conversation I had with a friend a long time ago who possessed the nickname Blue, and the thing was that we were going to do like a collab thing. I'd make videos talking to her and she would make videos talking to me, except that that didn't happen. But I retained the channel name, and then I decided I'd make videos anyway. I don't think she even knows I make videos. But yeah, that's why I'm called that. G'day, Bruce. What are you? Name your kids. I hadn't thought about it too much. Names with good meanings are important. Stay. I got this. A friend of mine gave me this. He got it at a party. So, yeah, that's why I'm wearing a Jewish prayer hat. What would I name my kids? Names with good meanings are important. Obviously, the mother of the children would have a say in it. The only name that I've kind of actually thought about that I like is Karenza, which means love, and generally is quite an awesome name. I don't know, I'd like my kids to have unconventional, but not irritating names, I think. Don't know. I'll think about it more when there's a chance of me having kids. What is the first job you ever wanted as a kid? The first job I ever wanted as a kid that I can remember was superhero, which I think is a perfectly valid job and one I would still quite like if there's any positions vacant. There may have been a short phase where I wanted to be a fireman, but I'm not sure. The first one I can kind of really remember wanting is that I wanted to be an author. It's really hard to hear with this hat on. Yeah, I wanted to be a writer for quite a while. I still wouldn't mind. It was like that, and then it's that way. But yeah, that's the first job I can remember wanting as a kid. I thought I had a more Russian hat than this, but it seems I don't. Moving on! Tell us about your first kiss. My first kiss was in a cinema during the film The Other Berlin Girl, with a girl I'd started going out with at the beginning of that week. It was quite nice. I don't really know how you describe it. I wasn't, too worried about doing that, but I was fairly certain it was going to happen, and then it did, so I was right, which is good, and started, well no, it didn't start, but furthered my tradition of being right. Tell us about your first gig. Ah! Stetson time. My first gig was at Spring Harvest when I was about 11, I think. I don't really remember it. I know the band was called The Tribe, but I don't know much about it. My first gig that I properly remember will please you internet people very much. The first person I remember seeing was about a year and a half ago, something like that, when I saw Ed Plant live, supported by Michael Aranda playing the bass. Bass Aranda. It was pretty great. I went on to see Ed, I think I've seen him twice more since then, as well as a few other bands. The first gig I went to with a proper, more conventional band was Motion City Soundtrack, who were great, and I've seen again since then also. Stetson! Tell us about your group of school friends. Welcome to the oldest hat I own. So, my group of school friends weren't school friends because I never went to school. I spent my whole life being home educated, which was pretty great. I had some pretty great friends there. Annoyingly, none of whom make enough videos or make videos, so I can't tag them in this survey. But, yeah, we didn't really have a name for our group. There were some small groups at the beginning that did, including the Chimpions, and the Brothers in Arms, and the Super Sleuths, and the SSO, which were both like kind of detective agencies. But, I don't know, we were just a group of people, I guess. Mostly guys, couple of girls. The gender balance wasn't so great in my home ed group, but it was a lot of fun. I got to hang out with some great people who I still see. And they wouldn't ridicule me for wearing a hat, which is also a dragon. Look! I've been waiting for an excuse to wear this. Foxtrot Alpha 2, tell us about your favourite school teacher. Following on from that, obviously not having school friends, I also didn't have school teachers. But thinking about it, my favourite teacher, probably a guy called Neil Ruckman, who some of you may know. Neil was a lot of fun. He did some English, but mostly he did like drama and Shakespeare and stuff with us, and he put up with me and my friends being absolutely... We weren't bad, exactly, we're ridiculously strange. And he actually encouraged us. Foolish man. Oh yeah, what is the strangest food you have ever eaten? The strangest food I've ever eaten, now that's a question. I like to think of myself as a bit of a foodie. I try and track down interesting food. I'll almost always order the strangest thing I can spot on the menu. It's a bit of a tricky one, as I say. I had a goat curry recently. That was a bit weird, but kind of generic. Chicken claws, which is actually chicken's feet, like the bit of the leg below where the meat stops, kind of that bit, I guess. In black bean sauce, or Thai-style baby octopus. They were great. They were like whole little baby octopuses. Octopi. Octopi. But it wasn't octopi. Ooh! Now I want to try octopus pie. Octopi. Those were both pretty weird. Or I had lamb and apricot kebab with chocolate sauce once, which was and everything I've just listed, incidentally, was delicious. What is the most expensive casual item of clothing you have ever bought? No hat for this one. It's not exactly casual, but the most expensive item of reasonably casual clothing I've ever bought is probably this leather jacket. It's vintage and cost me about £80, I think. Really nice though. Genuine leather, King's Road. Yep, hipster coat, it's so vintage. No, but seriously, just look at my lovely jacket. Also, my awesome t-shirt. What is your favourite place in the world? Bernark in my hat. I ran out of hats. So my favourite place in the world, which seems like a good one to finish with, is, I don't want to do the it's wherever my friends are thing, although it kind of is, but I think my favourite place in the world is Atlow in Derbyshire. It's this little community of houses and some big fields, and I go there and I camp every year, and it's a week where I eat good food and I get to be with my friends, and that's why it's my favourite place in the world, I guess, because of what it represents to me. And also because it's really peaceful and has a stream and things, and you get to go on lovely walks nearby. But yeah, my favourite places in the world, I guess, are places that are peaceful, and places where I can be with the people I care about. And Atlow's really the kind of apotheosis of that. Who would you like to answer the survey next? I'm a pirate. Appropriate ending cut. It's my best hat, pretty much. I always hope for last. So, who am I going to tag to do the survey? Well, I'm going to be ridiculous, and I think I'm probably going to tag 5 people. 4 or 5. First, I'm going to tag Maple Princess. You have been tagged. You are there. Second, I am going to tag Fubilant. You have been tagged. You are there. Third, I'm going to tag Smells Like Teen Fiction, also known as Oodles of Beauty. You have been tagged, and you are there. Third, I am going to tag Nick Beckman 1. You have been tagged, and you are there. And last, because I'm tagging people who will probably see this because they are subscribed to me and stuff, I am going to tag Hyperactive Skittles. You have been tagged, and you are there in the middle of my face. Oh yes. In the words of Macho Man Randy Savage, oh yeah. Joel out. Hey Yoda, did you hear about the Viagra shipment that got stolen? Hear about it I did not. Who do they think did it? Well, they don't know, but the police are looking for hardened criminals. Oh. Comedy.